Okay, good day everyone. Okay, welcome to my channel. Okay, Mathematics of Today's Generation. If you are new here in my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. At pakihit na rin sa notification bell para updated kayo sa mga panibagong videos na i-upload ko. Okay, by the way, if you are a mathematics contestant, okay, a math coach, or a mathematics enthusiast, then this tutorial is for you. Okay, without further ado, let's begin. So we are now on problem number 15. Okay, logarithmic and quadratic equations, problem number 1. Okay, this problem is taken from the previous Philippine Mathematical Olympiad. Okay, and we're going to solve this in a very systematic manner. Okay, here's the problem. Given that A and B are real numbers, satisfying the equation, okay, log of 3 to the base 16 plus 2 times log of A minus B to the base 16 is equal to 1/2 plus log of A to the base 16 plus log of B to the base 16. And we are tasked to find all the possible values of the quotient of A and B. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. So for our solution, so we have, copying the equation, we log of 3 to the base 16 plus 2 times log of A minus B to the base 16 is equal to 1/2 plus log of A to the base 16 plus log of B to the base 16. Okay, so first, we're going to apply the power rule of logarithm in this expression. Okay, so we now have this follows that we have log of 3 to the base 16 plus this expression can be written now as log of A minus B quantity squared to the base 16 by applying the power rule of logarithm is equal to 1/2 plus by combining these expressions using the product rule of logarithm, this can be written now as log of A times B to the base 16. Now, the left-hand side expression can be expressed further by applying the product rule of logarithm. So we now have log of 3 times A minus B quantity squared to the base 16 is equal to, okay, so this constant here can be expressed as a logarithm using this law. So if we have log of x raised to n to the base a raised to n, this is equal to m over n, log of x to the base a. So we're going to use this one. And also we're going to use log of b to the base b is equal to 1. Okay, so by combining these laws, so we now have, first, we now have 1/2 log of 16 to the base 16. So we use this one because 1/2 times 1 here, so this is equal to 1. And then plus log of A times B to the base 16. Okay, continuing the process, so we now have the log of 3 times A minus B quantity squared to the base 16 is equal to, okay, so by applying this law of logarithm, we can rewrite this one as of this form. Because this one is of the form this one. So we can rewrite of this form. So we now have a log of 16 to the base 16 squared. Because our m here is equal to 1 and our n is equal to 2. So that's why we have here. Then plus log of AB to the base 16. Okay, so as you have observed, they are of different bases. This is of base 16 squared, and this is base 16 and base 16. Okay, so to make this as of base 16 squared, so we're going to apply this law of logarithm. Okay, take note, okay, we can have here, okay, since the coefficient here is equal to 1, so we can write this one as 2 divided by 2. Because 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. You have log of 3 times a minus b quantity squared to the base 16 is equal to log of 16 to the base 16 squared plus, okay, then again, the same law, so we can write this one as 2 divided by 2 log of AB to the base 16. Okay, so now, you're writing this expression, okay, of this form, okay, log of, okay, 3 times A minus B quantity squared to the base 16 squared. Then is equal to, okay, log of 16 to the base 16 squared plus, okay, log of, okay, AB quantity squared to the base 16 squared. Okay, so now the right hand side equation can be expressed, okay, as a single logarithm by using the product rule. So we can now rewrite this one as log of 16 times AB quantity squared to the base 16 squared. And then the left hand side of the equation, so we have log of 3 times A minus B quantity squared to the base 16 squared. And from here, okay, we're going to apply the cancellation law. So we can cancel this out. So the remaining would be this expression and this expression. And applying the power over product and power over power rule, we now have 3 squared is equal to 9. Then times, so we have 2 times 2, we have 4. So we have, A minus B quantity raised to 4 is equal to, okay, 16 times AB quantity squared. Okay, so by dividing both sides of the equation by 9 times AB quantity squared, so this follows that we have now 9 times A minus B quantity raised to 4 divided by 9 times AB quantity squared is equal to 16 times AB quantity squared divided by 9 times AB quantity squared. Now, 9 divided by 9, that is equal to 1, and AB quantity squared divided by AB quantity squared, so that is equal to 1. So the remaining would be this expression equal to 16 over 9. So we now have A minus B quantity raised to 4 over AB quantity squared. Okay, which is equal to 16 over 9. Okay, so since we are lack of space here, so I will clean up the board and I will put this one, okay, at the top. Okay, okay, so we ended up here. Okay, this equation, okay, that we have derived, okay, out from the solution that we had. Okay, from here, okay, we're going to apply the power of a quotient. So we can write this one as A minus B quantity squared over A times B quantity squared. Okay, is equal to 16 over 9. And then, from here, by extracting the square root to both sides of the equation, so we can extract the square root. So we have positive and negative here. So we can cancel out the index and the exponent because they are just the same. So the remaining would be A minus B quantity squared divided by A times B, which is equal to positive, negative. Okay, square root of 16 is equal to 4, and the square root of 9 is equal to 3. Okay, now, by expanding this expression, okay, this 3. Then by applying here, okay, the addition property of equality, we can write now as A over B plus B over A is equal to, so from negative, this becomes positive 2 plus minus 4 over 3. And, okay, this B over A, okay, can be written, okay, in the form, okay, as follows. So, this follows that we have A over B plus 1 over A over B. So, we can find A over B because later on, we are going to replace A over B by another variable. So, which is equal to 2 plus minus 4 over 3. Okay, now, suppose, as I said, we're going to assume some variable. Suppose we let x is equal to A over B. Okay, then we now have the equation, two equations because we have two operations here. Okay, first equation. So we have replacing A over B by x. So we now have x plus 1 over x is equal to 2 minus 4 over 3. And the second equation, okay, we have x plus 1 over x is equal to 2 plus 4 over 3. Okay, and then simplifying this, okay, this is equal to 3 times 2, we have 6 minus 4, we have 2 over 3. And this one, 3 times 2, we have 6, plus 4, we have 10, so it means we have 10 over 3. Okay, since we do not have space here, so we ended up here, and I'm going to clean up this board, and I'm going to put these equations, okay, there. Okay, so we have down here, okay, the two equations, okay, that we have derived, okay, from our solution. Okay, now let us solve first the equation number 1, then proceed to equation number 2. Okay, for equation number 1, we have x plus 1 over x is equal to 2/3. Then to remove the denominator, so we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 3x. So 3x, by applying the distributive property, 3x times x, so we have 3x squared. Then 3x times 1 over x, so we have plus 3 is equal to 3x, okay, times 2/3, so 3 divided by 3, that is equal to 1, so x times 2, so we have 2x. Then, by applying a subtraction property of equality, so the equation now becomes 3x squared minus 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, from here, we're going to check if this equation has real roots. If not, so we're going to discard this one. So we're going to exclude for the values of A over B. So checking its discriminant. So for equation number 1, we have b squared minus 4ac is equal to, so our b here is negative 2. You have negative 2 quantity squared minus 4 times our a is 3. We have 3. Our c is also 3. Then negative 2 quantity squared. So this is equal to positive 4 minus 4 times 3, we have 12, times 3, we have 36. Then 4 minus 36, we have negative 32. So the discriminant of the first equation is equal to negative 32. So that means that this equation has no real roots. Therefore, equation 1 has no real roots. Okay? So it means we're going to exclude. So equation 1 must be discarded. So we will not include a equation number 1. Okay, so we're going to consider now equation number 2. So for equation number 2, we have x plus 1 over x is equal to 10 over 3. Okay, the same process. So we're going to remove the expression in the denominator. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 3x. Okay. Then, by distributive property, 3x times x, so we have 3x squared. Then 3x times 1 over x, we have plus 3. It's equal to 3x divided by 3, we have x. Then times 10, we have 10x. Okay, then applying the subtraction property of equality, this equation can be written now as 3x squared minus 10x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, from here, okay, just like what we did in equation 1, we're going to check also the discriminant of equation number 2. So we now have b squared minus 4ac is equal to, so our b here is negative 10. We have negative 10 quantity squared minus 4. Our a is 3. Our c is 3. Then, negative 10 quantity squared is equal to 100. Then minus, so this one is equal to 36. And 100 minus 36 is equal to positive 64. Okay, so this means that our quadratic equation has two real roots, two unequal real roots. So since we do not have space here, so I'll clean up the board and I'm going to put this equation that we have derived there. So this is the equation that we have derived there, and we're going to consider this equation only. Okay, now we're going to use the quadratic formula, or we can also use factoring. So by factoring, this expression can be factored out as 3x minus 1 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, then from here, by applying the zero product property, so by zero product property, we get 3x minus 1 is equal to 0 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then, negative 1, so by applying the addition property of equality, we can write this one as 3x is equal to positive 1. And dividing both sides of the equation by 3, so 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1, so x is equal to positive 1/3. Okay, next, so we have here negative 3, so we're going to place this at the right hand side, so that becomes positive 3, so we have x equals positive 3. Now, from here, we're going to apply some analysis based on our given equation above. So, we now have, we have a over b equals 1/3, and the other one, a over b is equal to 3. Okay. So, by applying here the cross multiplication, we now have 3a is equal to b, and on the other side we have a is equal to 3b. Okay, now since we have an expression here a minus b, and let us recall that the expression here must be always greater than 0. So it means we need to check which of these values or expressions would lead an expression a minus b would be greater than 0. So it follows from here, we now have, since our b is 3a, so we now have a minus 3a is equal to negative 2a. And negative 2a is less than 0. So it means when a over b is equal to 1/3, this expression would be less than 0. So it means we are going to discard the value which is 1/3. So we will not include this one. So this must be discarded. Okay. Now, the other hand, so by checking, so we now have a, our a is equal to 3b, so we have a minus b is equal to 3b, substituting the value of a, which is 3b, minus b is equal to 2b, and 2b is greater than 0. So therefore, we are going to consider only the value which is equal to 3. So finally, or thus, the only possible value of a over b is equal to 3. Okay. So, and I think it's a good place to stop.